Okay, welcome to the fourth video in this little lineup of on how to load dummy parts into um, my garage via the simple parts loader. I forgot something last video, so we will have to set it up now. You go into your Visual Studio file we set up last time, and you see up here using. This is references to scripts. We set up references. Every reference here you can access, and we will access some of them. We need to delete this. We don't need it. We just going to type using right, and then Unity engine, because the game is programmed on the Unity engine. We need functions from this engine. We using Unity engine. Very simple. And the next line is using simple part loader, because we are using the simple part loader to load the parts into the game. We need it. Okay, that's all for the Visual Studio aspect right now. We will move on to the getting your part you want to replace. This is a bit tricky. There are many ways. One way is to get the actual part, the actual file of the car from MB Driver or Fede or anyone. You need to ask them. I can't share them with you because they're not mine. For example, here lat.don't-touch.blend. Don't open Blender, it's just for showcase right now. This is the original file of the game lat. This is, yeah, like you can see, I modded the E30 body kit to it. If you have this is very easy. But if you have this, you need to be a bit more advanced, and you need to ask a higher up in the game to give them to you. So we can't use them in this tutorial. So I will close Blender because we don't use them. Okay, what we will do is a little bit simpler. We will download this mod, ef_item spawner. I will put a download link in the description. And you will put it in your mods folder, so it will be loaded when you load the game. So, load the game. And here's a little tip for you. Always back up your save when creating mods, and create a new save. Because new saves don't take so much loading time, and you can just debug faster, because every time I do something with a mod, I will always create a new save, because new saves are clean and fresh and there's nothing in them, so they will load much faster. So, back up your save. You can go on options, save folder, and just back up the save one, or just back up everything. Just back this folder up, and then you should be good. You can close that, and then new game. This will erase old save game? Yes. Okay. Then you will let it load. It should load quicker than if you don't have anything on the map, because I tested my air ride mod yesterday, and the loading time was so long because I spawned like 6 cars and everything had the air ride intimate. Was crazy. I always create new saves, because creating new saves in mods, see how fast it was, is very good. So we're in the game now, and we need to know what we're replacing. In this tutorial we will replace the hood of the lad. So we will press F5 and my item spawner will show up. You need to know what you're replacing. For example, if you want to replace, we will just focus on body parts. Replacing wheels is a whole different story. It won't be so easy as just to look up this name, but every body part, like body parts, interior, brakes, suspension, accessories, windows, and engine parts, should be working with this tutorial. So yeah, just focus on these tabs. Don't focus on wheels, tools, and fluids. These ones are a bit different. Yeah. And there's some parts, like some engine parts are not so easy to replace. It should work, but focus on these first. So we will create a body part, and then you see every car. You see Lat Coupe, the Chad, the Bart, and the Neve. Okay, and then you have to look at the names. It's a bit confusing, but these are the names the game works with to spawn the object, and we need this name. It's very important you note down the name. Note it down and don't don't get a typo or something, because it won't load if you type it wrong. This is very important. So we will look. For example, bumper F06. Bumper is the bumper, F for front, and 06 is just the number for the car. 06 is for LED or LED coupe. You see 07 is for the Chat or the BART, and 06 some parts are for the Neve as well, but it should be 08. You can see 08 and some parts here 09 from the BART, because the LUT was first in the game, 06. The Chat, the Chat was the next car, 07. You can see, or 07. The BART shares some part of the Chat. For example, the battery tray are exactly the same. You can, if you look at them, you can see Chat and BART down there. So they share the same name, and the Neve is 08. Okay, but note the name down. Just note the name down. Bumper. The last thing is for the if it's front or back. And yeah. So we will look for hood. And you can see hood 06. And you can see this is our hood. Hood LUT coupe. You can install this part if you want into your car even. This should be all working. But we will need this to replace. Okay, we just need a name. We don't have to do anything in the game. Just note down hood 06. Okay, now we can exit the game, Alt F4. Wait till it's closing time. Okay. Now we know our part name. Now you have to download the next tool. The next tool isn't listed in Fede's doc, but I will list it down below. It's called Asset Studio. Asset Studio, if you go on the link, you will get to this page and just download any version of this. This is very unnecessary. You don't need, just download any version of this. Don't download source code or source code. Don't download source code, just download this. You get a zip, unzip it, extract it somewhere, and we'll get into this. Okay. Very confusing, but you just need Asset Studio GUI.exe. Open it. Okay. And this should open. Then click top here, File, Load Folder. And then search for your MyGarage. You can do this again if you go here to the mods folder where we installed the mods. Copy the path, import the path, and then go one out. So the folder is MyGarage. Then select folder, and it should load. There will be some errors, and MyGarage has to be closed. It has to be closed for this to work. So please close it now before you do it, or you have to, if you don't close it and load this program, you have to reset the program. So close it. And this will show up, and this will show up like 4 or 5 times. Just always press OK. And I will do a little cut now because this can take up to 5 minutes. Okay, now the loading period is over and this should come up. You can see some stuff. This is the scene hierarchy in Unity, but don't mess with it. Or just, you don't need to even open it. It's just random gibberish for you, I guess. Go to asset list. This is important, asset list. And then tap here in the top, put in the name we know from the part. For example, this is hood 06 we want. And now you can see you need hood 06 and the type should be mesh. If you click on this, you can see in a little 3D preview, this is the hood we want. It should be type mesh, always type mesh. If there's many things, it's, for example, if you put in shock for the shock in the game, the rear shock, front shock, and it's crashing because there's so, I just wanted to show you if there's more options. Okay, it's not that much options, but if there are many options, just randomly sorted, just click on type, and yeah, just pick out your type mesh, and then look at these. You can see, for example, here's the mesh for the shock normal, the mesh for shock ruined. Okay, but we want hood 06, so we will look for the hood. Oh, this program is struggling sometimes, but just give it time, don't let it crash. Okay, hood 06. You click on it, till it's highlighted, right click, export selected asset, and then export it to a location you want your My Garage modding stuff to be. I have a folder called My Garage, and then exported assets, and then you can just select this folder and export the asset. I already have it, but just click here and it should export. Yeah, and the old folder should open. You can theoretically close this now, yes. And you can look in this mesh and then look for, I have a bunch of stuff here, but look for hood06, look for your file, you just export it, you can open it in this Windows 3D viewer and you can see, oh, it's loaded. And we have the hood from the game now in our files. Okay, that should be it for this video. Next video we will go into Blender and work with the hood. This should be very easy. So see you in the next video.